Hello everyone, my name is Heather and welcome to the channel Bookables. Of course, I could not let October go by without doing at least one, like spooky tag. I've done them all, but I did find one that I haven't done, surprisingly, and it is the Creatures of the Night book tag. My friend Kat over at Cattytastic made this tag years and years ago, and I never really did it because I never had enough book answers to the prompts, but today, my friend, I believe I do, so we're going to do it. So this is exactly what the tag says. They're going to go through each creature and kind of pair a book with it. First up, we have my favorite creature of the night, and that is vampires. So we all know my love of vampires runs deep. Started with Buffy, Twilight, you get the gist. I love vampires. I've read a fair few vampire books. I even did a video very recently on a lot of these creatures, but vampires is one I did, and I talked about my favorite ones. But of course, my favorite vampire book of all time is a romance, and that is Reborn Yesterday by Tessa Bailey. And I think a lot of people probably outlook this one because it's not your typical vampire. It's very much a vampire romance. Light maybe on the vampire, heavy on the romance and the steam. It's about a character named Jenny who is a mortician, and she's about to embalm a body, and he wakes up and it's Jonas, and she discovers that maybe he's not like other guys. He's dead. He's a vampire, and things get steamy and interesting, and I loved it. My favorite vampire book, hands down. Moving into another creature I love is werewolves. The one I picked for this one is honestly the only werewolf book I've read, and I still really enjoyed it, even though it's my only one I've read. Such Sharp Teeth by Rachel Harrison is about a character that she has a twin sister, and her twin sister's pregnant, and she's like, I don't know what I'm doing, I need your help, and so she decides to go back home to help her, and on the drive back home, she hits a deer, a bear, some sort of creature, and it bites her, and what do you know? She's starting to be a little bit different. She's having a lot of urges. Full moon's coming. She's feeling a little bit of a change. Your girl's a werewolf. She's also dealing with some second chance romance. And it is a great one. It's labeled as horror. It's not really scary. It's more about becoming a werewolf while also trying to find love and balance family life. Aren't we all kind of like that? Then we have zombies. This is one that I was like, oh, I'm not sure. I wanted to be like warm bodies, but it's been literally so long since I've read that. Do I remember a lot of it? I don't. So the one I picked was Angelika Frankenstein Makes a Match by Sally Thorne. This is another heavy on the romance. And I put zombie because it's kind of like a zombie, you know? It's kind of a tale on our classic Frankenstein. We follow Angelika, the sister of Victor, and she is concocting her own little experiment. She's finding different like body parts in the graveyard of men and putting them all together to make the perfect man for her. So she, you know, he's undead. He's kind of like a zombie. You get the gist. Either way, it's a fun Halloween one. It's not like one of my favorites, but I figured it fit the bill on the zombie mark, honestly. And then we have Ghost. I did another recent video. This is just the plug of paranormal reads, and I did a lot of like haunted house books. And the one I thought about that like I really love the haunted house vibes is Kill Creek by Scott Thomas, which is an underrated one. It's about these authors that are all like thriller horror authors that go to like spend the night in like the world's most notorious haunted house for like a night for like a publicity stunt. And then like as the year goes on, they're learning this house has really drastic effects on them. And the first half, not so scary. The second half, straight up bananas. Like this house is freaking crazy, straight up haunted. It was interesting, and it's full of ghosts, things like that. If you want just straight up ghost action, I would recommend The September House by Carissa Orlando. Is that the right author? Hopefully I read that. Hopefully I said that right. But it's a recent one. It's about a woman that owns a haunted house pretty much. Like she moves into this house. It's her dream house. And she discovers it is legit haunted. Like she sees ghosts every day. She talks to ghosts every single day. Are there some nice ghosts? Yes. Are there some mean ones that bite her? And you know, yes. But either way, she's living in a haunted house. So that's straight up ghost for you in case you want that route. Next up, we have witches, warlocks, spellcaster. So again, shameless plug, I did a video all on witchy reads, so you can go check that out. The one I'm picking is The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches by Sangu Madana. I love this one. It's about a witch that, like, you're not supposed to tell anybody you're a witch. It's very hush-hush, which I get. But, like, she gets the opportunity to train these 3 young girls that are witches, and she never had that opportunity, so she decides to go to this house to train these 3 young witches, and it's very cute, atmospheric, family, cozy, just all of the warm, cozy, witchy vibes. We have fairy slash fae, and this one was the one I thought was going to stump me. I'm like, oh, I don't know. But then I thought, oh yeah, the Heir of the Folk series by Holly Black. But then I thought, oh yeah, the Heir of the Folk series by Holly Black. I read that one. It's a YA series that I really enjoyed. The Cruel Prince, great. It's about a character named, I think her name's Jude. She's a human just living in a fairy world. And she gets into a lot of mischievous, like, fights and stuff with the fae prince named Carden, and it's like a hate to love romance because fairies are straight up evil, despite all of what we've heard. All the books I've read, the fairies are just maniacal and evil. But either way, this is a great series in case you want some good fairy action. Next up, we have Demon, and of course, I had to pick my best friend's Exorcism by Grady Hendrix. This is one, I love this one. It's one of my favorite Grady Hendrix books. It's set in the 80s and it follows characters Abby and Gretchen. They're BFFs. Everything's going great. They're hanging out in the woods one day at night with their friends. And I want to say Gretchen, yeah. Gretchen goes into the woods and she kind of disappears for a while and everyone's like, where the heck did Gretchen go? And then she comes back and Gretchen is very different. She's odd. And Abby starts thinking, you know what? I think a freaking demon has possessed my friend. And so she has to go about trying to find ways to exorcise this demon. And it literally is my best friend's exorcism. Like, she enlists this pastor. She, like, it is really about a demon. And it's hilarious, fun, kind of spooky. There's one scene in this because Grady Hendrix does, like, not gore, but just like kind of gross stuff. Oh, if you know, you know. But either way, this is a great one. Perfect for your demon content. Then we have Angel. And this is another one. I'm like, this is gonna stump me. I don't. And then I was like, oh yeah. A long, long time ago, young Heather read the Unearthly trilogy by Cynthia Hand. And could I tell you what this is really about? No. But I vaguely remember it's about a girl that's an angel that comes down and she gets into a love triangle with 2 boys, and that is literally all I remember. I remember loving this trilogy though when it first came out. Like, I devoured it. Unearthly, Unhallowed, that's all I got. But either way, fit the prompt. Then we have Alien. Oh my gosh. So Alien, ugh. This one, I picked Ice Planet Barbarians by Ruby Dixon because it truly is an alien one. This book series has no plot whatsoever. It is just strictly alien, human, steamy times. It's crazy. But you know what? I enjoyed it. I really did. It's about, the first one at least, is about a character, I think her name's Georgie, and her and a whole bunch of women get zapped up by aliens, and basically they crash on like this ice planet, like kind of like Hoth, if you will. And there she meets Georgie's kind of scouting one day because they're running out of food. They're on an ice planet. They're not going to make it. And then she meets an alien named Vecnal, and apparently she's his mate, and things happen. And it's a great one. I really do enjoy it. Does it have any sort of direction, plot, stuff like that? No. If you're just looking for some alien good time, if you're just looking for some alien steamy time, I'd check it out. And then the last one, Superpowered Human. This one, I'm gonna have to say Vicious by V.E. Schwab. So this is about 2 characters, Victor and Eli, and basically they were college roommates, they were best friends, and then they did like an experiment to see if they can give themselves superpowers, and you know, they have to be like near death or be dead and then be revived, things like that. Spoiler warning, they figure it out. But now the book starts off years later. They are like mortal enemies. Like, Victor is in jail and he's now getting out and he is going down to hunt Eli. And maybe the opposite, actually. I forget. One of them's going to hunt down the other one. But it is a great series about good versus evil. Is there a morally gray in between? I loved it. There is a sequel, Vengeful, which I don't love as much, but Vicious, Chef's Kiss, love it. So there you have a quick but fun Creature of the Night tag. I enjoy doing it. It was fun to see if I read all of these creatures, and I have. So I feel pretty accomplished as a reader, I guess you could say, in the spooky season. I'm like, yay, I've read a lot of these prompts, so yay. But either way, I hope you enjoyed. If you want to do this tag, I'll leave all the questions and prompts down below. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.